Welcome to the Midlife Men podcast with me, Philip Briscoe. My guest today is transformational coach Anthony Cudjo. His journey through trauma loss and despair has given him a unique perspective on human performance. Anthony teaches how energy, positive self-talk and alignment with natural laws can transform the way that we live, and why choosing honesty and presence is key to lasting change. He calls it the radical choice to live fully right now. So, Anthony, welcome.
Philip, thank you so much, man. What a great introduction. And it's a pleasure to be here talking with you. I know you're on the other side of the world. It's 1:45 here in Houston. It's probably like 8 o'clock there in the UK.
It's nearly 8, but that's fine. It's fine. It's good.
No, I think it's real cool that we could do that. You know, we can talk to each other across different time zones now with technology. The world has become smaller, but yet bigger at the same time. So I'm super excited about it, man. I would have never met you if it wasn't for technology. So it's amazing.
Absolutely. So we've spoke before. We had a call beforehand, and you were talking about something you kept repeating, and I want to start with this. And if you can explain what you mean by it. You kept saying, it's my job to tell the truth. It's your job to decide.
Yes. Yeah. Well, okay. So let me give you an example. Okay. The sun is the sun. And the moon is the moon. The moon does what the moon does. They don't apologize for who they are or what they are or why they are. They just exist as the sun and they exist as the moon. I'm going to tell you the truth, the law. This is not my opinion. And believe me, when I discovered these things, I fought against it for quite a while, Philip. I just did not want to believe that I had control over my life, because I had been so deeply socialized to believe that I did not. So I am going to tell the truth today, no matter how it makes you feel, because I'm not here to make you feel good. I'm here to tell you the truth. And then you're here to listen to make a decision. And what I mean by that is, if this truth that I speak today, as we have our conversation, Philip, if it resonates inside of you, then it's truth. It's truth for you. If it doesn't resonate inside of you, then don't take any action on it. But I promise you, the things that we will discuss today, it's going to intrigue you. You're going to hear things you've never heard. And if you have heard them, you're not going to hear them the way that I explain it to you. and you get to choose, man. You're going to choose if you want to continue to live a pitiful life or if you want to be powerful, because both of those aspects are inside of you. So I'm going to tell the truth. And your job is to make a decision. And that's it.
Fantastic. Right. I'm going to call you Coach Cudjo now, from now on.
Okay.
But let's start by, because I always ask my guests to talk perhaps about, where things started. I mean, you told me you were 60, which is incredible. You look incredible shape. You don't look 60 years old at all. But I want to, if you could perhaps take us back, where did your journey begin? What was life like growing up?
Okay, so you remember what we said at the beginning. I said, don't ask me a question unless you want to know the truth. My journey began before I entered this physical body, Philip. My journey began, I am an eternal being, and so are you. Everything that I say about myself applies to you too, because you're a human being. This is the law of who you are. This is the law of your existence. And this is why you're here. So I was an eternal being. I am an eternal being. And it all started before I entered this physical body. I made some decisions on the things I wanted to experience in this physical body when I came to this physical planet to live this physical life. It's all programmed in my DNA. Every aspect of life, from my breath to everything that I do, knows why I'm here. The only person that has forgotten is me. And that's part of the game. That's part of this game of life. You're down here to remember who you really are, who you truly are. And that's why you have life experiences. That's why you have what we call trials and tribulations. And that's why you have things that cause you to have to think differently and move differently and believe differently, because you are evolving. This is part of life. This is the law of life. You are down here to expand, and you're down here to evolve. And through that expansion and through that evolution, you're going to create some things. So you are already a creator. There's nothing you can do to get around that. There's nothing you can do to stop that. That's just who you are. What I find is a lot of people, they do not live their life consciously. So they're creating unconsciously. And then they sit back and wonder why these things have shown up in their lives, because you are not aware of the law and you're not working in harmony with the law. So now you feel like the law is working against you. And so what I do is I teach people the laws, first of all, of your biology, because you need to know that. You need to know how your body works, because this is where you live. This is where you give, and everything comes back to you. You can't go anywhere or do anything. Listen to me, guys. Again, this is the truth. Make a decision. You can't go anywhere on this planet and do anything in this life without your physical body. When you take care of your physical body, your body will take care of you. When you do not take care of your physical body, you're going to have to deal with the consequences of that. Either bad health, struggling in your mind, struggling in your heart, struggling in your life. You're going to figure out that your body must be honored in order for you to optimize yourself.
So you've talked about some men being in the way of their own future. So can you expand on that?
Absolutely. If you have any problems or concerns or issues in your life that you're trying to work through, health issues, financial issues, relationship issues with yourself or with someone else, you're in the way. I always tell people you only have one problem, and it's your beliefs. You see, life can only show up the way you believe it will show up. So if you believe life is going to be a challenge, if you believe that you're not enough, the universe just says, so be it. The universe has a very, very small vocabulary. Whatever you say, the universe just says, so be it. Because you are the creator. So if you are creating unconsciously and you're speaking against yourself, 9 out of 10 people do this. When I work with my clients, the first thing I do is I change that conversation. You cannot change your life until you change that conversation. For that conversation in your life are one and the same.
So let's bring this to a more practical level so people can understand this listening to what you're saying. So if you have problems in your life, say, for example, you have addiction problems, or you are having problems with your relationship, or you hate what you're doing for a living and you don't know what to do. So these are kind of practical, problems that a lot of men have. How do they then take control of that? How do they get out of the way of themselves in order to improve their lives?
Well, let's talk about that, because some of those things I had in my own life and I had to overcome them. First of all, let's talk about addiction. Society would teach you and coach you and say that that's addiction. You can't control that. That's something that, is very difficult for you to control. I will tell you this right now. Again, my job is to tell you the truth. Your job is to make a decision. You are making choices. You're not addicted to anything. You just keep choosing it over and over and over and over and over again. So when I had to face what I was what I was trained and trained to believe that I was addicted, I had made a decision. I said, I don't want this in my life anymore. And yes, that opportunity came back again. Yes, that calling came back again. Yes, that temptation, if you will, came back again. And when I understood that it was the universe knocking on my door and saying, who do you want to be? Do you want to be this sober person that you said you want to be, or do you want to go back to doing drugs? That's all the universe is doing. It's asking you a question. Every time that thing knocks on your door, it's just saying, hey, do you still want this in your life or don't you? And see, you've got to finally make the first decision and say, no, I'm done with this. So the next time it knocks on your door, you don't act on it. You let it pass, because it will pass. I promise you. You're just not waiting long enough to allow it to pass. It's just energy. So if you give it energy back, guess what? It's going to get nothing but bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger in your life, because you keep feeding it. I tell people, no matter if you look at your life, and I don't care how you're defining it, good or bad, whatever's going on, I promise whatever's going on, you're feeding it. It cannot stay in your life and sustain itself in your life unless you feed it. And what I mean by feeding it, I mean you're feeding it with your thoughts. You're feeding it with your emotions. You're feeding it with your beliefs. You're feeding it with your actions. So if you'll stop believing in it, you stop getting emotional about it, you stop speaking into it, and you stop acting on it, guess what? It will disappear. It has to. It's the law.
And can you do that yourself?
Yes. I'm here to tell you, you are the power, man. You are the beginning and the ending of your life. You control it all. Society would teach you that you don't. I'm here to deprogram people, man. I'm here to show you the power that's already inside of you. It's been programmed in your DNA.
So from what you're saying, I think then that the physical health is as important or drives a lot of your mental health then and the way that you can make decisions. So you need to get clean. You need to have control of your physical health.
I would just say, yes, absolutely. And the reason why, man, because if you think about it, where do your thoughts come from, Philip? Your body. Where do your actions come from? Your body. Where are your emotions at? They're inside of your body. Everything, your vibration and your frequency, the very thing that keeps you grounded on this planet and the very thing that keeps you connected to all things and the energy of all things is your vibration and your frequency, and it comes from your body. Here's the deal. When I'm dealing with anyone, addiction, someone trying to get to the next level of their corporate career, someone trying to create great relationships in their lives, someone trying to create wealth in their lives, the first thing I have to do as a coach is I've got to get you to change that internal conversation. I'm not powerful enough as a human being, and there is no one powerful enough on this planet as a human being to change your internal conversation. God can't even change your internal conversation. You must change your internal conversation because you're in control of that. So the first thing I do, Philip, is I make people start working out. Because when you start working out, certain things happen inside of your body. Certain chemistry starts to happen. Certain chemicals are starting to be released. Endorphins, things that are just going to make you start feeling better about yourself. If you start feeling better about yourself, you're going to start talking better to yourself. So here we are now, we're exercising. We're feeling better about ourselves. We're talking better to ourselves. And now we're taking better actions when it comes to our lives. Your frequency and your vibration has changed tremendously because you are now in harmony with your biological laws, which is movement. Everything about your body is moving. Right now, Philip, we're looking at each other on a computer, but you know what? Inside of your body, your cells are doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're healing, they're rejuvenating, they're restoring your health, they're keeping you alive without you even thinking about it. So you have control over all this. So what I do is I start with the body first. And you'll start to realize as you're talking better to yourself, I tell people, pay attention, man. You're not paying attention to your life and you're not paying attention to your power. You're just waking up every day and following what the world told you to do. You're never going to find peace like that.
We talked about grounding and the importance of grounding and things that you can do. And not losing contact with the world around you, especially with nature. Can you talk more about grounding? Because I remember you told me something, which I then went and did, and was very powerful, that anybody could do.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Most people don't know, Philip, that the earth itself has a heartbeat. We can't hear it. Science now is starting to prove it. They've created scientific tools and techniques that actually now they can see the electronic stimulation or energy coming off of the earth. They can also hear the heartbeat of the earth. The earth itself has a frequency. It's 7.83. It's called the Schumann resonance. Anyone can look it up. You can go to YouTube and look it up. Matter of fact, you can do what I do. I actually go to YouTube every morning. I pull up the Schumann resonance, which is 7.8 frequency. I put my headphones in so I can hear it. And then I go out and stand on the earth and I talk to the earth. I talk to my body. I talk to my life. I speak out and I broadcast what I desire for my life. And then I sit and I wait for it to materialize, and it just shows up. It's pretty beautiful how it happens. Now, here's the beautiful thing why I want everybody to ground, because people don't understand this. As soon as you take your shoes off, and if you don't believe me, man, put a blood pressure cuff on when you do it. Prove me wrong. My job is to tell the truth. Your job is make a decision. So when you go outside, man, and you take your socks and shoes off and you stand on the earth, do you not know your blood pressure goes down automatically? The doctor's not going to tell you that. Why? Because he can't sell you that. There's no pharmacology that's free. That's something God gave us. That's the earth giving back to us. The earth is our mother. That's where we get everything from it. We get all our nutrition from the earth. We're grounded to the earth. So when you stand back on the earth starts to heal you, man. It's called an ionic exchange. So what's happening is the earth is pushing ions in your body. And the negative ions in your body are going into the earth. So it's a beautiful exchange. All the negativity in your body is actually going through your feet and going to the earth. Now, a lot of you folks don't even know this. This is good news, man. Every pressure point for every organ in your body is in the bottom of your feet. And also in the palms of your hand. Most people don't know this stuff, Philip. If you'll just start massaging your hands and your feet, you're stimulating the health of your organs inside of your body. If you don't believe me, look at Reiki. This is Eastern medicine that a lot of people don't talk about in the Western culture. Our bodies are so amazing, we don't even have a clue what they can do.
This is something anyone can do then. And why not? Anyone can go outside. Even if you live in a city, you can go and find a park or a scrub of land and try this and see how you feel.
Yes, and I'm glad you said that. You do have to get on the dirt. You have to get on the land. You can't stand on concrete. You won't get the full effect. I'm not saying that you won't get a little bit of the effect, but you will get the full effect if you are barefooted and you're standing on the earth, in the dirt, on the ground. And I'm telling you right now, if you have any health concerns, no matter what they are, start grounding. Watch what happens. You're giving your body an opportunity really to heal at a very high level, at a very high frequency. The human body resonates at about 5.83 frequency. So as soon as you stand on the earth, Philip, your vibration and your frequency elevates immediately. That's why I told you when I go outside and stand on the earth, I'm speaking. Because I'm at a very high vibration and I'm connecting directly to all the things that I desire in my life. Because everything that I desire in my life is a frequency as well.
So you need to tune into this. You need to tune into your body and the world around you. And I guess try something which is free and easy. Something you said earlier, actually, about, so let's look at something like depression or anxiety. And it's very interesting. You said it's a kind of energy, but it attracts more negative energy. The more the more anxious, the more depressed you are. How can you break that cycle then? How can you stop attracting more negative energy in more practical terms?
Oh, this is simple but difficult at the same time. Stop living in the past and stop living in the future. I had depression too. I was clinically diagnosed as depressed. It came, that was something that ran in my genetics, my family. My mom was depressed. She was on medications. And so depression was part of my genetical history, if you will. So when I sat in the doctor's office and he told me, you're clinically diagnosed as depressed, you need to get on these medications. And he put 2 bottles on his desk and he said, this is what you need to take. And I looked him in the eye and you know what I said to him, Philip? And I don't even know where this came from, but I did say this to him. You know what I said to him? I said, Doc, I didn't have to take medication to get depressed, so why should I need to take medications to get undepressed? You know what he said to me? Nothing. He had nothing to say. He just looked at me. He goes, I can't answer that question. He goes, but you do need to take these meds. I said, no, I don't. I said, I just need to change my focus. And that's exactly what I did. I went in the gym. I started working out. I started changing my focus. I started having a different internal conversation. And next thing you know, I wasn't depressed anymore. I stopped living in my past. I don't even talk about my past because there is no past. Like right now is all we have. I don't talk about my future. There is no future. Right now is what we have. So even if I was talking about my future, Philip, I'm doing it right now, ain't I? I'm doing it right now with you. Even if I was talking about my past or looking at my past, I'm doing it right now. So now is all we really have. So if you live in the moment of now, depression will leave your body. That energy will just dissipate and go away. If you live in the moment of now and not the future, you'll get rid of your anxiety because your anxiety is about what's going to happen. Is it going to happen? Will it happen? When it happen? You start having anxiety about all that stuff. So if you just let that go and just live in the moment of now and be the person you want to be right now, then everything else will take care of itself because it is actually designed to. Life is designed to take care of itself. You're part of life.
So how did you work all this out? So you're in the doctor's office, you're telling him I'm not taking those drugs. I mean, you told me, and I hope you don't mind me saying, that you reached very dark places. You know, you had suicidal thoughts, you know, that you were quite deep in, and you managed to do this yourself. How did you do that? How did you find the inspiration? How did you know what to do?
I got to the point where I just said, I was just done with life. I was done with the game plan that they had. I was done with it. I was just like, and to be honest with you, Philip, I was pretty successful, man. I had a big house, big car, a lot of money, women chasing me. It was all good. I was an athlete, man. So everything was good. But at the end of the day, no matter what I put around me, it never fulfilled what was inside of me. And so one day I just said, you know what? I really want to know what this life is about. I don't want to miss this thing. I'm down here for a reason. And I knew that. And I knew it wasn't to play football. I knew it wasn't to be a boxer. I knew I was, that was what I was doing. It wasn't what I was here for. You see? So I had to realize, I said, okay, what am I here for? What is my purpose? Why am I in this body? What am I supposed to be doing in this life? Because this life is temporary. There's a beginning and there's an end. I come here in 1965, October 18th at 2 a.m. That's when I entered this physical body. I'm going to leave this physical body. I know when I'm going to leave, and that's between me and God. We've already made a decision. So I'm here doing what I'm supposed to do until it's time for me to leave. And everybody else you're supposed to be doing that as well. I tell people, don't start doing anything in this life, Philip, until you know who you are, man.
So how do you find out who you are? How does the guy listening to this thinking, this is brilliant, I'm motivated, everything Anthony's saying is great, but how do I find out who I am? What's my reason for being here? Because, the job I'm doing now is not me, and perhaps the life I'm living is not the life I want.
Well, if you're at that place, I want to congratulate you. If you're at a place of frustration, congratulations. Because that's your graduation. You're now graduating into a higher level of knowing. You're graduating into a higher level of being. And you're also graduating into a higher level of clarity. So I applaud you for that. And I say you're in a really good place right now if you're frustrated, because that means that now you're looking at other options. Now, again, what do we talk about? Everything about life, from your breath to everything in life, knows what you're here for. So I'm gonna fast forward this thing after 3.5 decades of me living this and also working with thousands of clients. I'm going to tell you something, so you might as well sit down, because every time I tell people this, they can't take it. It's a huge statement, but it's the truth. It's what I had to discover for myself. It's also what I had to accept within myself. Are you ready, Philip? I hope the listeners are ready too. I'm going to say it real slow. You are God in disguise. That's who you are, man. You are God in disguise, having a living experience through the body that you have, through the name that you have, through the choices that you're making, through the life that you're choosing. So you are God in disguise. Why are you here? You're here to create. That's what you're here for. You're here to expand as a spirit in a physical body. You're here to discover what you're really here for. And again, you're here to create. You are a master manifester by design. You are manifesting right now, regardless if you are conscious about it or not. It's built in your DNA. And I want you to look at your life, man. I want you to look at the things you like, and I want you to look at the things you don't like. You created both of them. And here's how you create everything. I'm telling you, man, this is the law, Philip. Make a decision.
So I know you challenge men to choose powerful or pitiful. So what does powerful look like in practice?
Powerful is I am. That's what powerful is. I am strong enough to do whatever I want to do. I am wise enough to do what I ever want to do. I'm healthy enough. I have enough money. I am. Anything you put after I am, you're starting to create. That is the most powerful statement you can make about yourself. And that's the most powerful statement you can make within creation. And if you notice, when you say I am, that's a now statement. That's not a statement for tomorrow. That's not a statement from yesterday. That's a statement of now. I am. Not I am becoming, or not I used to be. No, I am. I am the creator of my life. I am the co-creator of my life. That's who you really are. You are the co-creator with your life in co-creation with the divine. That's who you are. And I'm going to tell you, you better get with it as quick as possible if you want your power. Because if you don't want your power, just keep living the way the world's telling you that you're less than, because you're not. So you have to make that decision, and then you have to act upon that decision. Acting upon that decision is the power of it all. Nothing materializes in this physical world without action. So you have to, first of all, know who you are, speak it out with power, conviction, intent, direction, consciousness, and then take action on what you speak. If you'll do those things, you're working in harmony with the physical laws that created existence. You are now in harmony with the law. I'll give you a perfect example. Everybody knows this law because we are bound by it, and that's the law of gravity. You see, Philip, you and I can get up on a building and we can both jump, and it don't matter if you're black or white, if you're short or tall, if you're Republican or Democrat, if you're a Christian or not, if you're religious or not. We're both going to the ground, man. That's the law of gravity. It's not a respecter of man or person. It's just the law of gravity. Now, you and I, guess what? We can harmonize with the law of gravity, but gravity is still gravity. Let me show you some things that are harmonizing with the law of gravity. A plane harmonizes with the law of gravity. It can take off and fly, but it still has to land. It's honoring the law of gravity. Matter of fact, without the law of gravity, flight wouldn't have never happened. Okay? So there are things that understand. Birds, they fly, but they land too, don't they? That's gravity playing a role in their flight. So the law of your being is you are a creator. Get in harmony with that. Start creating consciously. The law of your being is you are a powerful creator and you are a piece of the I am. You have to accept that if you want to move into your power. You have to accept that if you want to optimize not only yourself, but your life as well.
So thank you. This is all great. Very positive self-talk. And, this is a lot of energy that you're giving. In terms, you were talking about laws of biology earlier. Looking at, especially men in midlife, things like testosterone, the hormone, it's critical, right, for men in their midlife. So how do you manage, your way forward if things like that are declining, if that's having an impact on you? How do you manage that law of biology?
Women, and we know this very well with women because we've been educated socialistically about this. But at the end of the day, women go through a midlife change, which is called menopause. But us men, Philip, we go through something which is called andropause. Women go through menopause. Men go through andropause. So let's talk about the andropause that the men go through. That is a steep decline in your testosterone. And that usually happens around the age of 40. It really starts happening around 40, 45, 50, 55. Usually when you get around your 60s, man, your hormones are probably sitting at around 200 to 300 points. And so you're dealing with the symptomology of that. You got the belly thing going on, the belly fat you can't get rid of. You're starting to get man boobs because your testosterone is so low, your estrogen is starting to elevate. And now you got man boobs going on, and you got a belly. You stay there long enough, guess what? You're going to get super moody. You're going to get very agitated very quickly. You're going to not be able to sleep well at night. And not only that, you're going to start to develop something which is called ED. Okay? And so these are the symptoms of low testosterone. So how do you get good testosterone in your body? How does someone address that? Well, there's a couple of ways you can do it. Okay, you can do it injections. You can do testosterone injections, which means that you're going to have to stick yourself probably once or twice a week, depending on what you and your doctor agree upon. But for sure, you're going to have to do a shot once a week of synthetic testosterone. Okay, so this is a chemically based synthetic testosterone that will go in your body, but it will definitely make you feel good. But you got to make that decision. Do I want to stick myself every week for the rest of my life? Another way for you to increase your testosterone is you can do what's called pellets. They actually go in your greater trocar over your glute, and they inject those into your body subcutaneously, and they usually last anywhere between 4 to 6 weeks, depending on how active you are and how much muscle you have on your body. If you're very active and you have a lot of muscle, they're probably going to last probably 4 weeks, 4 to 5 weeks. If you're not very active and you don't have a lot of muscle on your body, they'll probably last anywhere between 8 to 10 weeks. But you'll definitely have to get, the injections again at least 3 to 4 times a year. That's another way. Another way you can do it is you can do it through creams. There's a lot of creams, potions, and lotions out there. I don't like those because the dosages are not consistent. Because if you put cream in your hand, you may put a little bit more cream in your hand today than you did yesterday. So your dosages are not going to be precise. Not only that, you get transfer. It transfers onto your clothes. It transfers onto your children if you're hugging your children. It transfers over to your animals. Anything you touch with that cream on your hand is going to transfer over to that individual, to that animal, or to whatever you're touching. So there's transfer there. You're not going to get any transfer with the pellets. You're not going to get any transfer with the injections, but you'll definitely get transfer with the cream. With the pellets, you're going to have consistent dosage. With the cream, with the injections, you'll get consistent dosages, but with the cream, you will not. Or you can do what I do. I go back to the earth. There's an herbal blend full of herbs, ashwagandha, mushrooms, turmeric. So I do all these natural herbs and I make a tea. Matter of fact, my tea is right here. That's my testosterone tea. So I'm drinking my tea. I'm drinking herbs that naturally stimulate my body to naturally create my own testosterone, my own natural testosterone. So guess what? No side effects. Guess what? Complete absorption. Okay. Complete harmony because it comes from my body. So all I'm doing is I'm stimulating my own biology to create more testosterone in the time that I need it right now. And it's slowing down the aging process tremendously. Man, I wish you could see me in the gym, Philip. It's pretty ridiculous the kind of weight I'm pushing around at 59 years old, man. These young kids, they don't understand that. They're like, oh my God, how are you pushing all that weight? I said, man, I eat God's foods, man.
So eating food, drinking whole foods, having a natural solution, far better than anything synthetic.
Absolutely.
Or creams or whatever your doctor's trying to do.
No, and I want you guys, if I say something, here's the deal. Remember, I told you my job is to tell you the truth. Your job is to make a decision. Please don't trust anything that comes out of my mouth. I want you to research it for yourself. Because if you research it for yourself, you're going to have a soft expectation before you actually do it. Now it will manifest much quicker because you are expecting a certain thing. But not only that, you're empowering yourself with your own knowledge. So I'm telling you right now, look up andropause. Okay, I promise you, look at the symptoms. If you're dealing with these things, you're gonna find you've probably got 3 or 4, 5, or maybe all the symptoms that you're dealing with is because you have low T. And you have to deal with that, man. If you want to age gracefully and not aggressively, if you don't want disease in your body, because here's the deal. If your testosterone stays low for a long time, you are opening up Pandora's box for you to fulfill your genetical predisposition of any sickness and disease that you see in your family tree. It will happen. It's not if it will happen, it's when it's going to happen. So if you stay in that state of dysfunction long enough, the next card is going to fall, which the body will go into a serious state of dysfunction at a cellular level. So I tell people, you've got to you can't put your head in the sand with this, guys. You can't. If you want your power back, you want your strength back, you want your vitality back, you want your energy back, you want your life back, you better deal with your testosterone, your low testosterone. And I would tell you this, I would really tell you, I'd rather for you to do the T first. I really would like for you to try the T. Let's try the natural way before we do something else, before we go to pharmacology, okay? Because the injection is a pharmaceutical med, so to speak. The creams are pharmaceutical meds, so to speak, okay? And so are the pellets. You can't get those without a doctor's prescription. But you can get this tea. This tea is, if you'll contact me, I'll tell you exactly the type of tea you need to be drinking. I don't make any money off of this at all because that's not what it's about for me. It's about me helping you, man. I want you to feel powerful again.
Can we put the tea in the show notes? Can you tell us what this is? Because I want to take it. You tell us the recipe, and you'll have us all drinking it.
Yeah, it's a herbal tea. It's over on my counter, so I don't know by the.
We'll put a note in the show notes.
I'll get that information to you. I'll get that information to you and share it with everyone, man. Because I'm telling you, when you start drinking that tea, I'm telling you, if you drink it consistently, by the second week, you're gonna feel your body turn on. And what I mean by that is your energy level is going to be incredible, and you're going to also notice that you're going to get stronger as well, just naturally. Because testosterone and strength go together when it comes to your body.
So you do this now for a living? You have your own program?
Yeah, it's H3O. H stands for human, O stands for optimization, and the 3 stands for the 3 distinct energies that you have in your body. Your body is consisted of a lot of 3 power centers. And just for example, what I mean is, you are spirit, you have a mind, and you have a body as a human being. Every human being has this. Don't matter if you're a male or female, black, white, short, tall, fat, skinny, it doesn't matter. This is the law. This is the law and the common denominator of us as humans. Okay? So you have spirit, mind, and body. There's 3. You create your existence in your external life by thought, word, and deed. There's 3. You have 3 energy centers in your cells. Every cell has a proton, neutron, and an electron. There's 3 again. So that's where that 3.0 comes from, because when you understand how to manipulate your electrons, protons, and neutrons at a cellular level, oh my God, you're talking about controlling your health. It's absolutely amazing what will happen. You'll never get sick again. And I know, listen, I know that scared everyone because, the world tells you you're supposed to get sick. Oh, it's cold. It's flu season. It's cold. It's allergy season. I mean, they just lead you by the nose and you believe it. And guess what? As soon as you believe it, your body has to manifest it. It's called the placebo effect. If you know any pharmacology, if you know anybody who sells pharmaceutical meds, you ask them about the placebo effect. You're going to be amazed about that.
So if people want to find out more about your H3O, Human Optimization 3.0, where do they go?
They can find me online. Now, I will tell everybody this, okay? Not everybody's ready to work with me, man. This is a powerful thing. And it requires you to be ready to take ownership for every aspect of your life. And when I mean every aspect, I mean every aspect. I want you to take ownership of what you're thinking. I want you to take ownership of what you're doing. I want you to take ownership of what you're saying. I want you to take ownership of your consciousness. I want you to take ownership of your physical body. I want you to take full ownership for everything you have created, good or bad, because I can't help you until you take ownership. That's your power, knowing that you are the creator, knowing that you are in control. So the way they can get in contact with me, Philip, is this way. URH30. These are all letters, not the words. So you would type in U, you would type in the letter R, you would type in H, the letter H, 3, and then the letter O, and then .com, and you're going to hit a landing page, which will give you a brief background of me and what I do and how I do things. Then you're going to schedule a 30-minute call with me that's absolutely free. All I'm going to ask you to do is come to the phone call with an open heart, open mind, open spirit, and let's have a real honest conversation. I've heard it all. I've seen it all. There's nothing you're going to say to me that's going to surprise me. Nothing. So come and let's be honest. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to ask you some pretty hard questions so we can get clear and get to the root of the matter. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a plan that I want you to follow for the next 30 to 60 days. And then I'm also going to give you some things that you need to be observing as you're following that plan for the next 30 to 60 days. Because once again, this is my truth, and you need to discover that it's your truth. And the only way you're going to discover it is if you do it. There's no other way. I can give you 1,000 books. I can give you all of my white papers and all my research. You're not going to know it's true until you do it.
So finally, if there's someone listening to this, and they can contact you if they want to, but if there's just one decision they could make today, one small thing that they could do right after listening to this podcast, what should it be?
Go work out. I know that's a simple solution. Go join a gym. If you don't want to join a gym, find some kind of workout system that you can do in your home, but you need to start exercising. That's critical. Everything comes from your body. Your health is in your body. Your creation is in your body. Your creativity, your thoughts, your words, everything comes from your body. So if you take care of your body, you'll be taking care of every other aspect of your life. So that would be the first thing I would tell you to do. Start exercising and also start drinking more water. You are a bioelectrical magnetic device. I'm going to say that again because a lot of people don't understand. You are a bio, which means you have biology, your cells, your muscles, your organs, your tissue, your blood. Electronic, you have electrons in your body. And if you don't believe me, have you ever shocked anyone before? Have you ever had static and touched something and you got shocked? Why? Because you are electronic as well. And you are an electromagnetic being. What I mean by that is everything is drawn to you. That's why when you chase things, it drains you, it wears you out, and most likely you'll never catch it. Because I tell people this, Philip, if I chased you, guess what? I can't chase you unless you're running from me. Now, what I mean by that is your goals. When you set goals, guess what? And you start chasing them, they're going to run from you. So people say, well, Tony, there's things I want to do in life. How do I create that? And how do I magnify that? And how do I manifest that? You know what I tell them, Philip? Just be it. That's how you attract it. If you want to be a healthier person, just be a healthier person right now. Start speaking to yourself better. Start eating better foods. You know what's good and what's bad. It's already built into you. Start drinking more water. Your body's going to get healthier. You're being a healthy person. You're not thinking about it. You're not creating a plan. You're not saying tomorrow. You're not judging yourself based off of yesterday. I didn't do what I was supposed to do. I'm not living a healthy. No, we don't do that. We live in the moment of now. So if you want to be a healthy person, make healthy decisions now. Act like a healthy person now. And then you will become a healthy person. It is the law of your creation. It's the law of your being. The problem that most people have is first thing they do is say, oh, I'm not feeling well. Oh, I think I'm getting sick. Oh, they start coughing. Oh man, I think I'm getting a cold. I think I'm getting a flu. You are creating that by your words. You're creating that by your belief. You're creating that by your desire because you're speaking it out. So what do I do whenever I get a cough or something? First of all, I never get it. But here's how I turned the corner because I used to get that stuff because I didn't understand. So whenever when something would come to my body and I wouldn't feel good, Philip, all I would just say is I'm getting healthier and healthier every day. That's a positive affirmation. you're not going to get in an argument. Your brain, your left brain and your right brain is not going to get in an argument about that. You will be in harmony about that. You just say, I'm getting healthier and healthier every day. Now, remember, I told you that action is critical. You can't say I'm getting healthier and healthier every day and you're eating pizza, donuts, burgers, drinking sodas, not going to the gym, exercising, not trying to monitor your weight, not trying to stay a healthy person. That's not going to work. That's against the law. Your thoughts, your words, and your deeds have to be in harmony in order for you to create properly. That's the law.
I think that is a perfect place to finish on. I think you've created a lot of positivity for everyone listening. I'm certainly off to have some tea, stand outside with my shoes off, do some exercise. Anthony, it's been brilliant. Thank you so much for joining us.
Well, you've got kids too, don't you, Philip? You got a family.
I do. Yes. Yeah.
Well, guess what, my brother? I'm going to tell you something, King. The responsibility of you taking care of your life, your health, and your body is so much higher now because you have people depending. Your children are depending on you. You understand what I'm saying? So if you're healthy, guess what? Dad's healthy, the kids are healthy, the relationship's healthy, everything is healthy. So it's very important that you take care of yourself. And I tell people this, how dare you, if you're in a marriage, I'm sorry, I'm just going to tell you straight up, I've been working with a lot of people. How dare you not take care of your body if you're in a marriage? And the reason why I say that is because if you lose your health, your spouse has to take care of you because you didn't do what you were supposed to do to take care of your body. See, me and my wife, we have a law. We live by this law. We both take care of our health. I told my wife I'll do everything I can to protect my health, to nurture my health, to grow my health, so you will not be responsible for taking care of my health if I lose it. So your body is not only your personal responsibility, but it's also your responsibility for your life as well. So I'm really, really glad, Philip, to hear that you're making these changes. You're going to be doing these things. You're standing out on the earth, which is going, you're going to get closer. If I was you, I'd grab your son and have him do it with you. Start teaching your kids now, so that'll be second nature to them, and they won't have to break a bunch of bad habits.
That's excellent advice. Thank you. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you on behalf of everyone listening as well.
I really hope that I was able to serve you guys. And listen, here's the deal. I know there was a lot of information. If you want to get more detailed about what you're going through, please reach out to me at urh30.com so we can have a conversation. If you decide to work with me, great. If you decide not to work with me, great. That means you're clear. And hopefully I can give you some inspiration, confirmation, and revelation on the next step in your life.
And I'll put that link in the notes so people know where to find you.
It's a blessing, Philip.
Thank you for listening to the Midlife Men podcast with me, Philip Briscoe. If you want to find out more about Coach Cudjo and his Human Optimization 3.0 H3O program, then visit his website, lettersur830.com, and we'll put the link in the show notes. To help raise the profile of the podcast, I'd really appreciate it if you could review the show if you like it and share it with your networks. If you've got a story you want to share, then please do contact me through the website mid-lifemen.com.